Today we'll be learning how to do addition and subtraction equations, which is really a simple process because all we have to do is add and subtract. So let's take a look at our first equation here. We have x plus 7 equals negative 10, and we know that we want to solve for x. I need to find out what x is. Now some of us will be able to use mental math to solve this, but since it's a negative integer, I'm going to show you another easy way to solve for x. And the way we do that is by doing the opposite operation. So they want us to add 7 to x. I'm going to do the opposite. So I'm going to subtract 7 from here. And what you might want to think of is think of the equation as a teeter-totter where the equal sign is the middle. And my goal is to make this teeter-totter balanced. I don't want one side to be up or one side to be down. So to make my teeter-totter level or balanced, I have to do the same thing to both sides of the equal sign. So if I'm going to subtract 7 from here, I also have to subtract 7 from here. And now we can go ahead and solve these two problems. If I have 7 minus 7, it's going to be 0, so that just leaves me with x. I'm going to bring down my equal sign. Now I need to look at this. I have a negative 10 minus negative 7. You can use a number line, or you can work this out on paper and find out that you're going to get an answer of negative 17. So now looking at this equation, it's saying that x is equal to negative 17. I can take this negative 17, go back and plug it in the place of x and say negative 17 plus 7 equals negative 10, and it does. So I know that I did this equation the right way. Now we've already looked at solving an addition equation, so let's look at solving a subtraction equation. And this is going to be done the same way. If I think of my teeter-totter, and the equal sign being the middle, I want my teeter-totter to be level. So let's look at the operation, and it's subtraction. So I want to do the opposite of that to this side and this side. So let's get started with that. I want us to subtract 12. Well, I want to replace it by adding 12. So we're going to add 12 to this side. And I'm going to come over this side of the equal sign and add 12 to negative 9. So I know that negative 12 plus 12 is going to be 0, which only leaves me with y. So I bring down the y. I also bring down my equal sign. And now I have one more step to do, and that is a negative 9 plus 12. I can figure it out on paper. I can use my number line, and I come up with the answer of 3. So now we're being told that 3 is equal to y, or y equals 3. If I take 3 and plug it in place of y, then I would get 3 minus 12 equals negative 9, and that's true. So now we know that we solved this equation the right way. And now the third and final equation we'll look at today involves combining like terms. So if I look at this equation, it says 2 is equal to 1.3 plus a plus 4.7. The first thing I want to do is locate and identify the like terms. Well, I have the variable a, and I don't see it anywhere else. But these two numbers both have a decimal and no variable. So those are my two like terms. So I'm going to rewrite this now, putting my like terms next to each other. So we still have 2 equals 1.3. I'm only doing addition, so I want to add my like terms together, which are 1.3 and 4.7. And then we'll add a as the final step. So now I'll actually do a little bit of math. 2 equals 1.3 plus 4.7. If I add them both together, I'm going to come up with 6. And then we add a to that. And now, just like in the previous two steps, I have an addition problem. I have the equal sign. I'm going to think of my teeter-totter. I want to even it out, so I'm going to do the opposite operation. I want to subtract 6 from here then, and subtract 6 from here. So we already know that 6 minus 6 is going to be 0, so we'll just carry over our a. Equal sign stays there. And now look at this problem. 2 minus 6, can use my number line. get an answer of -4. So now this equation is solved, and we came up with A being equal to -4. If I go back and plug this in place of A, I'll find out that it truly is a -4. And now we know that we did this one right.